EMV Configuration. EMV, Europay, MasterCard, and Visa is the new standard for credit card processing. In the US, EMV is implemented by using payment terminals that read smart card chips. This video is meant to provide a high-level overview of how to configure EMV for your Verifone POS. This video does not contain detailed information about configuration of EMV. If you require additional information about EMV, please refer to the EMV Feature Reference Guide. This guide is located on support.verifone.com in Petro and Convenience, under Product Pages, and EMV. Before you begin the configuration process, please make sure you have one of the following. If you do not have one of the configurations listed, you will need to contact your Verifone Authorized Service Technician or VASC to install the required hardware components. Additional configuration may be required by your Verifone payment network. These additional steps are covered in the EMV Feature Reference Guide. Please review the addendum section for your payment network before enabling EMV. Before you begin the configuration process, ensure all PIN pads are running and able to process card transactions. EMV must be enabled on the site controller or the V9XX device. To enable EMV, simply log into Configuration Client. Navigate to Payment Controller, EPS Configuration, EPS Global Configuration, and then click on the EMV Configuration tab. Select the Contact checkbox. The contactless feature is not implemented yet and will be grayed out. Below the EMV enabled section is the AID or Application ID configuration. AIDs are specified by the payment network and used to identify the EMV applications that the system can support. During a transaction, the customer's EMV smart card and the processing terminal use AIDs to determine which applications are mutually supported by matching the card AID to a supported terminal ID. No configuration or changes are required here. Ensure that there are AIDs present in the system and that they are enabled. If there are none present or they haven't been enabled, contact your payment network. CAPK or Certificate Authority Public Key configuration is read-only and cannot be altered. They are managed by the payment network. Ensure that there are CAPKs present in the list. AID rules allows the merchant to set preferences for selecting certain AIDs over others on cards that have two possible AIDs by configuring a rules list. AID rules are not required for enabling EMV card configurations. Save the configuration changes. In order to update the Verifone POS workstation, you will need to log into sales mode. If you are signed in, you will be required to log out and log back in. Ring up at least one item and verify that the EMV slot is illuminated on the PIN pad. To see a sample transaction, please refer to our Verifone EMV training for Petro and C-Store video. In the event your EMV configuration did not update, in other words, you have no lights on the EMV slot, here are some things you may need to check. First, confirm that any additional payment network required configuration changes have been made. These changes are covered in the EMV Feature Reference Guide in the addendum sections. Next, you will need to make sure that you have the correct software and kernel versions on your PIN pad. To check the software and kernel versions, log into System Diagnostics through a computer that has access to the site controller's configuration tools by using one of the following web addresses. Click System Information and then select Diagnostics. Scroll down to the POP status and confirm the software versions and kernel versions are one of the following. Also confirm the PIN pad has a status of Online. In Configuration Client, go to EPS Configuration, EPS Global Configuration, and EMV Initialization. The POP initialization screen allows the user to manually send configurations to newly installed pin pads. Select the POP number in the left-hand side window. Click the right arrow to move the POP to the initialization window, then click Save to execute the initialization. The user can also see if the configuration components failed to download in the POP status window below. Thanks for watching Verifone's training on configuring EMV. Please check out our other informational videos on Verifone's YouTube training channel.